it's always struck me that one of the sort of things characteristic of people in this country, let's call them Americans for a moment, of Americans is this really this faith, which often feels sort of uncritical faith in what we call
Right.
progress,
Yeah.
right? That yes, there may be some sort of along the timeline, some local, slippage, but over time, isn't the
Right.
trend clear
Sure.
around sort of enlightenment around race or gender or sexual
Yeah.
orientation or whatever those things might be? And of course, lots of people, I think, including critical race theorists, have said, no, whoops, we need to be, we need to keep fighting the fight. And victory's progress is hard won and always at danger of, there's always danger of retrenchment. Jesse,
Yes.
I wonder, as someone who spent so much time organizing, and Adrienne, I appreciate your noting that, I know that you spent a lot of time, with a foot off campus. Not that academic scholars, researchers can't also be activists and advocates. Increasingly they are, but you especially have spent a lot of time in the world of trying to make things happen as well as analyze how they happen. Jesse, you clearly have. What are you seeing? Are you feeling, I don't know if hopeful is quite the right word, but is there something about the lessons of history where we started that make you think, you know what, this is an opportunity? There are far more people, I think, who consider themselves sort of good liberals, good progressives, but we're not active. I think about 2016 and the aftermath of 2016, being in a number of living rooms with people who said, I've never, middle-aged people, including middle-aged white people, who said, you know what, I have never been an activist. I think I need to be an activist now, right? Is that what are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, over this past weekend, June 11th and 12th, we had a national weekend of action to teach truth against these bills that try to mandate that we lie to children about structural racism and sexism and homophobia. And it was incredible to see photos of rallies from Anchorage, Alaska, down to Florida, in dozens of cities across this country, with parents and students and teachers linking arms and mobilizing behind the call from the Zen Education Project, the African American Policy Forum, and Black Lives Matter at School, that have joined together to organize several rallies. And those give me great hope. And I know that this struggle is what it's going to take. They have never wanted us to be able to understand the past so that we can change the future, right? My ancestors weren't allowed to read and write, right? Black people were barred from being literate in this country. That is the legacy of American education. It was illegal, punishable by maiming or death if you were caught reading a book, right? And yet they resisted under conditions harsher than what we have, right? They did what was called stealing the meeting, and they snuck off plantations and taught each other to read and write regardless of the law. And today educators are saying, we don't care what the law says. 8,000 educators have signed the Zen Education Project pledge to teach the truth, saying, we refuse to lie to children about structural racism in this country. You can do whatever you want, pass any kind of laws you want, and we're going to link arms and continue this work. And that gives me great